Thank you, Steve. And good morning. Again, I'm Scott Aubuchon, Director of Global Air Freight Marketing at UPS, and very excited to be here for a couple of reasons. One, not the least of which, is that it's the Georgia Logistics Summit, and UPS is a Georgia company. You may or may not know our corporate headquarters is really just right down the road here in Sandy Springs. And the Supply Chain Solutions headquarters, where I work, is in Alpharetta. So, and we're Georgians by choice. We moved our corporate headquarters here in the early 90s, and for a number of reasons, one of which was the logistics infrastructure, not the least of which is Hartsfield International Airport supporting our needs as a corporation. So very happy to be here. Also, feel comfortable being here because it's a logistics summit. Hopefully when you sat down, you got a pen. If you don't know already, I'd be remiss to not point out that at UPS we love logistics. It's really is more than just a marketing tagline for us. It is that, but we really genuinely do love logistics, and we're all about bringing logistics solutions to our customers every day. This is what we do. So the overall theme of the conference of thriving in a changing ecosystem really caused me to think about UPS and our history and how we've got to where we are today. So I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into that. You may or may not know that UPS is actually going to celebrate our 104th birthday as a company this coming August. We started in 1907 in Seattle as a messenger company. And the company at that time, the technology of the company was 2 telephones. We needed one for each of the 2 phone companies in town, and messengers on foot and some bicycles. Pretty quickly, we realized that we needed to adapt and adopt technology in order to really service our customers' needs. And this was really one of the first technologies, and was the technology of the teens in the United States, was the motorcycle. So here you can see some of our young men that delivered messages and parcels then. Very quickly, we upgraded technology to move to what you now know as the package car. This is actually our number 9 Model T that we purchased and put out on the street, and hopefully you'll see some of these today when you leave, but they'll be a little bit more modern. If you ever have a chance to visit our corporate headquarters, just off the lobby, there's actually a restored version of our number 1 Model T there. It's, if you like old cars, it's pretty cool to come take a look at. It wasn't long, though, before we realized that our customers needed more than what even the highest technology ground transportation could provide. And as early as the 1920s, we were actually involved in providing air freight services to our customers, partnering with various airlines. And that's what you see here is what was known as the UPS Blue Label service back in the 1920s. The Depression took us out of this business, as it did many companies, air, fortunately not ground transportation. But over the decades, we've continued to evolve, continued to adopt new technology, and eventually created our own airline, built our own airline, as Steve mentioned, and we're now one of the world's largest airlines in and of our own right, as well as partnering with some of the folks at the table here today to provide air freight services. But that's our evolution. As I was thinking about air freight and what's been happening in air freight, I couldn't help but think that the jet plane has definitely revolutionized air freight in terms of speed and reliability and what a customer can get in terms of moving goods almost anywhere on the planet in 6 days or less. By the way, we offer an express freight service. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. If you'd like to get something there tomorrow, we can work with you. So, but the jet airplane has definitely changed the industry radically. However, the jet airplane continues to evolve. They get bigger, they get faster, they're more fuel efficient, they're quieter, but really it's incremental progress at this point. I don't think we're going to see that next technology leap from the actual physical movement of the goods. So the thing I want to talk briefly about today is I think, and this echoes the previous speaker's comments, is technology and information technology is going to be a huge part of really leveraging air freight in order to meet your needs, whether you use it to supply your own customers, to procure goods, or you're a logistics provider to your customers. You know, for centuries, global trade has been going on, right? There have been caravans moving back and forth across nations' borders, and much has changed. The airplanes certainly made that fact clear. However, much has stayed the same. As Aubuchon mentioned, the paperwork that's associated oftentimes with transportation of air freight, we spend all this money to put it on the most modern possible technology vehicle movement, but we do paper processes and documentation that's not much different than what happened in ancient times. So as I thought about what could you do, I think the point here was what could you do to get, more business in the air freight market, whether it's, that you use it to provide a service or you use it to supply goods or to procure goods, what can you do? And one thing I'd really encourage you to think about is leveraging information technology to help you with those processes, because it's going to simplify that process. As you know, technology can make things that are very difficult very easy. If you've tried doing long division recently, you know that Excel makes it very, very easy to do, right? It also expedites the process. It allows us to do things very quickly and to move information very quickly, and it improves the quality, which is a big deal when you think about freight, because every time we have to have a handoff of a document, or from a forwarder to a customs broker, that's an opportunity for something to go wrong. Every time we have to transfer information from one form to another, opportunity for it to go wrong. And the benefits of technology really go beyond just your shipping operation. They extend to your customer service and letting your customers know where their goods are, to be proactive in letting them know where their goods are. It helps your finance and accounting in terms of allocation of cost, in terms of accounts receivable. If you can demonstrate that the goods have been delivered, you can very quickly bill for that and receive the funds. Helps your inventory and production management. You know where to have your people when, how many. And also your information technology, because it allows you to integrate across your entire supply chain so that you can move data from one point to the next, including your shipping processes. So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, that's great, where do I start? I would say there's two things that you should really be considering, and if you haven't done this yet, or if you've done this only at a base level, I'd consider working more towards improving your air freight shipment processing by integrating technology. That can be as simple as going and using a website that can be provided by a carrier or a forwarder, or it can be integrating a software system in with your existing ERP or order entry system. What this can do is it can eliminate the need to do manual documentation, which is a huge aid in terms of productivity and quality. It can take that data and move it electronically to your carrier, to your forwarder, to your broker. And then, of course, it enables seamless tracking of your shipments so that you can tell your customers where their goods are. You can see where your goods are. And that can be an automated process where email notification can be done at certain milestone events, such as shipments occurred, delivery has taken place. The last piece of this, and maybe of most value, is air freight visibility. And I want to point out to you, you may not be aware of this. Oftentimes we think of visibility today as a tracking number, and then I've got to go in and put in my tracking number, I can see where that particular thing is. But visibility has really gone to another generation today, where at UPS, one thing we can do for you is provide you an outbound view of all of your goods, not by tracking number, but by that you as an entity having shipped these things, and equally as important, an inbound view of what's coming into your location. So you can manage both sides of your supply chain, be fully aware, and have that real-time visibility ongoing. And of course, this provides you the ability to provide your customer with better service and to save time and save money. So if you haven't done it yet in your air freight shipping, I'd encourage you to take that next step. Think about integrating technology and leveraging that to really make you as efficient as possible. With that, thank you for your time this morning.